This is a video where you'll see me put together the motorcycle hitch trailer from Harbor Freight. It is the Haul Master. It's got a 400-pound capacity. Watched some videos on YouTube about it. It looks like they did have a previous model where it was breaking in terms of they were using aluminum instead of steel. I did see some of those videos and sure enough it did shear off. So I'm excited to put this one together. I'll show you guys how I put it together, installing it, and then we'll go on from there. Before we jump into things, I just want to let you know if you Google Harbor Freight 20% off, you can find a coupon to make this purchase to save money. So I've already started putting this together. This piece that goes long ways comes as one single piece, so you can see about how big this box was. It went the whole length of the item. We rigged this on, which is essentially locks the wheel up a little bit, as well as they have a peg right there that will go through the spokes. Good job, Grace. This is the ramp right here, which this essentially piece of metal goes down over it, holds it there, and then you twist this, which puts pressure here and snugs it up against this frame. I realize if you keep pressing on this and keep rotating it, that this piece of metal just bends back a little bit. Also, I noticed the hole wasn't big enough on this piece of metal. There's a spring underneath that, which kind of keeps it coming up, which is really nice. But I'm guessing that when they painted it, it made the hole slightly too large, so I took a unibit and kind of made the hole slightly bigger. And now what I'm going to do is I've kind of connected all the bolt pieces. I'm going to go through and tighten everything up because it's pretty loose. And again, the major things that you had to connect, you put this together. These pieces are already here. You put these bolts in, which attached all these pieces. You had these two rods right here, and then finally you have these pieces right here, which will secure around the hitch itself to stabilize it a bit. And then we have these pieces here, which become your tow strap anchor points. Alright guys, I finished it up and it's all mounted. It was pretty easy going in. Something that's interesting too is I like putting it in. You might have saw in the video where I'm resting it up on end to kind of like lean it in. Realizing when you're resting it up on end, you're putting it on this part, so that's kind of a, don't do that. I saw in some other videos where you guys talked about these things breaking pretty easily. With that being said, it's in. What I'm going to do now is tighten up the kind of bracket system that it gave you to keep it from swaying back and forth. I have the pin in, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys loading my Honda XR250 onto it. I'll load it off as well. Something that I was curious about when watching other videos is if you could load it in the back and on the front, meaning can you ride the motorcycle up, push it up, and then can you push it straight off and not have to back it off? And it looks like you totally can. So with that being said, I'll kind of show you guys that now. Alright guys, so I'm getting ready to load my bike on, and just like I drilled this hole out just a little bit more so it would freely spin. As you can see here, I went to put my tie downs in and they're just not really going into the hole. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. This has a rubber coating over it, which makes it slightly larger. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my Unibit, and I'm just going to pop in to these guys a little bit and make them a little bit bigger. So I'll do it to these two holes in the front, and then I'll also do it to these two holes in the back. Alright, so I went ahead and drilled them out, and now he's going a lot easier. And I'll spray a coat of paint on that too to seal it back up. I got everything set. I drill out the holes so my tie downs essentially work properly now, and they fit in the holes easily. So now I'm gonna get a shot of me loading it up. I'm kind of worried that it's not gonna fully fit because I have my spare tire on the back, which is pretty large. So anyways, we're gonna give it a shot. I'll show you guys what it looks like to load it up and offload it, and I'll kind of talk about what things look like once it's on. Alright, so I loaded the bike up. I was right, it's not fitting properly because of my tire, so I would essentially need to get like a hitch extender, or what I'll be doing, I'm gonna have a guy coming over and he's gonna be welding on a hitch in the front of my vehicle. And so when that happens, I won't be worrying about it hitting the spare tire. It'll just ride clearly in the front of the vehicle. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to pull like a Coleman camper behind my truck. So with that being said, it went up nice with the ramp. I felt really secure about it. Didn't feel like it was gonna fall off. Something that is interesting, it's kind of hard for me to gauge now, but you can see right there, that's the hitch down there. It comes up right there to my motorcycle, and it's pretty in line with the motorcycle. It's not removed and coming at an angle. So anyways, it's very hard to strap it down, obviously, when the bike's at a slight angle. It's just not really getting its leverage point, but I can speak more to that once it's actually level and I'm wrenching it down once it's level. All right, so I just took the motorcycle off. Obviously putting it on, the bike is running, and it's really nice to be able to just use the clutch and let the motorcycle do the work. I do not have an electric start on my motorcycle, so obviously I can't kick it over to get it to come off. So you really got to push it over the hump. Something I noticed too is when you're taking it off, then the rear tire falls into the large gap that is designed for the front tire, and then it kind of halts a little bit. Something that else made me slightly nervous is it's kind of hard to see as you're pushing the motorcycle to try to initially get it over the hump. And literally as I'm pushing it, what's going through my head is like, oh man, I hope I don't jiggle this thing enough to where that front ramp comes off and kind of falls. And this is what I'm talking about right here. So I don't know if that's a warranted claim, but it was going through my head because I kind of have limited visibility of this connection point as I'm trying to push the motorcycle. So literally I'm kind of nervous as the bike is bouncing around. I would just hate for that to come off. It'd be kind of cool. Maybe I'll design something where I can, if anything, just put a strap over this, which just secures it from even popping. Just kind of makes me nervous because then you'd be dropping the bike straight on the frame. Other than that, I really like the construction of it. I'm excited to see how it lasts over time. It's not too heavy. One other thing is right here, they have this mechanism that's supposed to tighten down on your tire. I didn't even bother doing that on this load. They also have a rod, this rod right here, that's supposed to go through here. I saw another guy in a video mention the same thing. My rod is not able to go through because if I try to put it through, it essentially hits this rim right here and won't clear that rim. So maybe if I had a more low profile tire, it would make it, but on my Honda XR250, it does not clear that. So with that being said, it's kind of an incomplete test because I couldn't fully get it on because of the fact of my spare tire right there. So again, what I'll be doing is I'm having a guy who's good at welding. He's gonna come over and we're gonna weld a hitch up right here. And then at that point, I'll be able to mount the bike on the front of the car, which is nice because then none of this is going to be even close to it. So that's that. But at the moment, this is kind of my thoughts on it. Hopefully this video was helpful to you guys. Go ahead and like, subscribe. I'll put out more stuff like this. And if you got any questions, go ahead and just leave them in the comments below and I'll be sure to answer as many as I can. Also, I'm going to put up one clip after this. After I bought this, obviously I was looking for a trailer that wasn't really a trailer, right? It was just kind of a hitch mount trailer. There is one other one that I found. A gentleman did a YouTube video on it. I'll link it in the description below, but it is another option to consider. It's a bit more expensive, but I definitely see some pros to it. Loading it, unloading it, it's a whole lot smaller. So it might be a good option if you're looking for something that is hitch mounted. Finally, be sure to Google Harbor Freight 20% off and you will find a coupon that you can use towards the purchase of your motorcycle hitch trailer.